It is The Mean One, starring the fella that plays Art the Clown from Terrifier. It's BDR, Burnt Disc Baby from Desktop or Deskpop Entertainment. A fun little slasher film. It's got its moments with the gore and whatnot. We'll get more into that here in a second. Basically, it's like the story you've heard about Whoville and the Grinch is not necessarily what really happened. So Cindy Lou, or Cindy You Know Who, as they have to avoid some copyright issues with this movie, thus the title, The Mean One, tells the tale of what really happened on that night. And instead of, her making his heart grow however many sizes it was, instead he goes on a killing rampage, and her mom's killed, and she goes back to the town years later, and the Grinch starts back killing, although he can't be called the Grinch, and things get bloody. And of course, she figures out the town's got some secrets, and you kind of figure out more about his whole mo. But if you're not here for like a solid plot, so I'm not here for a solid plot. I was just here for a fun movie, and for the most part, I think it's a really fun movie. There is parts here where I feel like they had some really good ideas, but there was also parts of the movie where it feels like they're just throwing in stuff in here just to up the body count. And hey, I mean, who could really fault them or blame them? Because sometimes you just got to do that. The actual performance of the Grinch is good, as I figured it would be. The lead chick is decent as Mary Lou, or Mary Who, or whatever her name was. But um, one of the funniest parts, I think, of the movie is definitely them going above and beyond to almost say he's the Grinch and then not say he's the Grinch, and them definitely try to um, cover up the things they can't say because they're trying to avoid a lawsuit. Like Whoville is now Newville because they've changed over the whole city since what happened with the Grinch, and uh, nobody there really celebrates Christmas anymore because of what happened. But it's got some gore and it's got some blood, and that's what I really was there to watch. Um, a lot of the gore, like there's some really good kills, but then there's also some that's kind of like got some. You tell they're aided by some CGI stuff. Um, Other than that, a lot of it's kind of protected by quick cuts. It's a very indie film. Like this is not like if you're saying, well, if you see it and you're like, well, this is the dude from Terrifier, so it's got to be on that level. It's not quite on that level. It's an indie film. It's got a little bit more of a budget than probably most indie films, or at least they made good with what they had. If it wasn't, um, but in the theme of children's things being torn into horror films, it's probably just as solid as the Winnie the Pooh horror film. And the budget though is not quite on level, but it's still better than your average slasher. Which makes me wonder why this thing going to be in Walmart? Like I feel like would be a good option to be in Walmart, at least on DVD. I don't know if they're going to get a release other than this. Like I feel like somebody's going to put this out on a more proper release, but I could be wrong. Still, uh, honestly, it's fun, but it's probably a one-time watch for me, and that's a 2.5 out of 5 for The Mean One. But if you like seeing your childhood characters turned into raving lunatics, I say check her out.